Goal setting for success. It's actually not as hard as everybody makes out. I've got, honestly, what I think is a foolproof method that I've workshopped over the years, and I've got it down to a fine art. You don't need anything fancy. You basically need a workbook, a pen, but you do need brutal honesty. If you're not prepared to be absolutely fucking honest with yourself, it doesn't work. All right. Basically, I've got a really plain book. It's just like a white book. That's it. So I have used this same book since 2021, and the reason I use the same book is because you can look back every year. So I'm able to look back at 2021, 2022, 3, 4. Now I'm coming into 2025. So you can see the progress, and you can also see where you'll have the same goal year after year after year. And it's like, well, if you've got it for 3 years in a row and you still haven't achieved it, the problem is not the goal. The problem is how you're actually attacking it and what you're doing to achieve it. The first thing I do is a brain dump of the year. And it's literally just regurgitating, kind of getting out of my head, like, how do I feel about the year? Good, bad, ugly. And the reason you write it as opposed to just thinking about it is because when you put it on paper, you're able to articulate and see if there's any particular themes. Are you just whinging in your head? Is the voice in your head just whinging, or is it actually an issue? So first step, brain dump of the last year. That's what I do. You know, how I felt, what I hated. So one of the things I wrote for last year was I felt like I was running, actually sprinting all year. There was no time to stop, no time to reflect or think. No, I really felt that way through the whole year, and it was a real problem. You know, so brain dump the year. So step 1 is brain dump of the year that passed. What worked, what didn't, get it down on paper. Step 2, what is the vision for myself this year? If you close your eyes, how do you see your year going? And not how does the year go, but how do you show up? What are you doing? How do you feel? And in this, I basically cover where I am feeling, like, what is it I'm thinking about family, about work, about my own self-development? Like, what is that I'm seeing? So, for example, last year, let me just share some of the stuff I wrote. Let me see, this is 2024. I wanted to basically really work on my leadership skills. That was a really big thing for me. I wanted to also, one of the big things I wanted was building a morning routine, because I felt like I had lost that. The other thing was around abundance and ease, because personally for me, I always struggle with the word ease. It's like, you know, somehow I've framed in my mind that, you know, it must always be difficult, and that makes it worthy. So I really wanted to work on that. So it's like, what was my vision? And again, not 1,000 things, otherwise you won't achieve them. I basically had 7 points. Let me show you, like, say, for example, the year prior. So in 2023, the vision for myself was to be a CEO of a successful company and to be able to blend business and family and me time really easily. I also wanted to work very much on getting educated and spending time learning stuff about productivity, about focus, about investment. So it's like, what's the vision for yourself? So that's step 2. Third step. This is actually one of my favorite parts. So I put the year in a circle, and these are my 6-ish categories. So this is what works for me. So me, because I am separate from my family, my work, my job, all of those things. Family, I do Marcus and I, or you might do relationships, whatever works for you. I do the business, I do home life, I do money. Here I did my other business. To each of them, I just bullet point, like, what is it that I want for each of those categories? So, for example, for me, in the me category for last year, it was like fit. I wanted to be well rested. I wanted healthy hair. I really underlined this for myself. Enjoy the journey. And I wrote, this is it, girlfriend. These are the best years. Enjoy them. You know, I didn't want to work every night. You know, so that was sort of what I wrote for me. For family, it was like, how can I support, say, Annabelle with what she wanted, Alyssa with her particular kind of goals and dreams, my mum and dad, Maha and her family. So that was kind of some bullet points that I put there around how do I want to show up for them. Then for Marcus and I, it was about continuing our date night tradition and doing kind of new and different things and having some other kind of time out together. Then for SWIISH, I wrote down what I wanted to achieve for SWIISH, just top line for the year. And then under home, because your home space and life is so important. So what did I want it to be? And for me, it was stuff like everyone in the house has a specific job, celebrating those big moments and really making a big deal about the everyday, you know, like as opposed to just setting the table and celebrating when it's someone's birthday. It became the smaller moments, and we really did that last year. So I dump all of that here. And then the last step, I take all of that, like I reflect on the year, what did and didn't work. I work out like my big pie dream, what do I want? Then I pull it back into categories, and then I take the categories and then I break them down. So my 2024 goals were things like, what kind of revenue did I want for SWIISH? What did I want for SWIISH everywhere? What did I want for myself? And for myself, that's, you know, like, how did I want to improve? And you might not want to improve. You might be perfect. I mean, great. And I incorporated in that, like, exercise, how I wanted to show up, etc. And then my family life. So I took all of this kind of big pie in the sky stuff, and I turned it into 3 main categories, essentially my family life, my work life, and me. And I broke it down, and that's it. And the thing that works, looking at it all the time, if you only look at it again in 12 months' time, you'll forget about it. You actually need to kind of keep it somewhere where you'll look at it often. And so my sort of thing is at the end of every month, like, because you always know, it's like, oh my God, it's the last day of the month. I get it out. If I haven't, especially if I haven't looked at it in between, and I'm like, okay, fuck, I said I really want to do this thing, and actually sort of like forgot about it. Or if you veer off course, you can veer back on course. If you don't keep checking in, it doesn't get done. The year's over, you wake up and you're like, fuck, I didn't achieve any of the stuff I wanted this year. So that's how you do it.